What's going on, everybody? My name's CakeyC and welcome to the channel. As it's the first video I'm uploading to YouTube, I thought I'd give you a little bit of information about myself. I've been playing Call of Duty now for about 13 years, starting with Call of Duty 4 multiplayer, and I've come in and out of the franchise throughout the years, but this one really stands out to me. I think this game is really good, and that's why I've set this channel up, because I want to share some of the experiences and some of the tips and the tricks that I learned from playing this game with you guys. So with that being said, this video is going to be an MP5 Class setup. I'm going to show you the different attachments that I use in the Gunsmith, and I'm going to show you the class run through as well. Just going to head over to the barracks, guys, just to show you how often I do use this gun. I've got just under 3,500 kills with this gun, and I think I've only got about 6,000 kills on the actual multiplayer in just under 2 days. So you can see how often I'm using this gun. I'm using it a lot. It's pretty much every game, and there's a reason for it, and I'm going to show you why. So before we get stuck into the Gunsmith, I'm just going to run you through the class that I'm using at the moment. It's an MP5, which we'll go into, a Renetti Guard 1, and for the perks I'm using double time. I need to move around the map as fast as I can. I like flanking and I like getting behind the enemy, so this is a no-brainer for me. My second perk is Ghost. Again, if I'm moving around quickly, I need to stay off the radar, off the grid, and get behind everyone. And finally, Tracker, just to keep an eye on the enemy and see what they're up to. The lethal I use is a frag grenade. I love cooking these grenades. I switch between these and the Semtex, but I don't really use anything else, especially playing domination or hardpoint. And then the tactical, the flash grenade. So let's get into the Gunsmith, and I'll show you what I'm running on this MP5. So firstly, the muzzle. So I use a Monolithic Suppressor. If you haven't unlocked that, just use the tac suppressor or the lightweight suppressor. I don't really see the point in all of the other ones. I suppose the compensator is probably the best out of all of them, but you are going to lose some of the aiming stability while gaining some control, which doesn't really make sense to me. So I always run the Monolithic Suppressor. I don't run a barrel and I don't run a laser, but I do run a reflex sight. And if you don't like the reflex sight and you're happy with the iron sights, then what I would do is probably take off the reflex sight and put on a laser. The reason why I don't use a laser is because you are visible to your enemies when you run around the map, and I try to play very sort of flanky and staying out the way. That's why I always suppress the weapon and take the laser off. Now the reflex sight I use a Monocle reflex sight. I find it's the biggest view when you aim down the sight that you can get out of everything, and the red dot is the smallest. I know you can modify them, but I found that it's the best red dot there is. If you haven't unlocked it again, because I know it's a bit of a grind, guys, getting down to the higher tiers, but the Cronin LP945 mini reflex works just as well, along with the Operator and the Solo Zero optics. The one I would not recommend is the GI mini reflex. It's just too clunky, too small, and you can't really see what's going on when you use it. I don't use a stock and I don't use a perk. I do use a rear grip. Now again, you could interchange between the rubberized grip or the granulated grip tape. I don't use the stippled grip tape just because I want this gun to be all about the control, the lack of recoil. I don't really want that extra mobility. Your mobility with this gun is going to be as quick as you can anyway, so it's not going to make much of a difference if you use the rubberized or the granulated. Ammunition, now this is the interchangeable between the core and the hardcore. When I play hardcore, I use the 45 round mags, just because if I manage to get around the map and there's 3 or 4 people capturing a flag or in a hard point, I can just rip through them and get out of there without reloading. If I'm playing core, I'll play slightly less aggressively and I'll put the stopping power rounds on. These are really good, guys, on core. It will give that extra bit of edge to the gun. And finally, for the underbarrel, I use the Commando Foregrip. Again, you could add a bit of range with the Ranger if you wanted to, or you could add a bit of mobility with the Operator, but I just find the Commando Foregrip is the best overall grip, and it'll just give you that extra bit of control on the gun, and you'll see it in the gameplay that's coming up, how good this gun is at not moving at all. And that's the class setup for the MP5 that I'm running at the moment on hardcore. If you want to play core, just switch the mags out. And if you don't like the reflex sight, because I know it's a bit of an unorthodox reflex sight out of all of them, just take it off, put the one you want on and give it a go. This gun, guys, will absolutely melt anyone that comes in front of you. it's far superior to any submachine gun on the game. And with that grip and the suppressor, you will add a little bit of range to it, as you can see in the gameplay I'll show you. It does give you that edge further away as well. The gameplay I'm going to show is on the Shoot the Ship playlist. So most of the gameplay is on Shoothouse, but I thought there was quite a good map to show you guys what this gun can do, because it is quite close quarters and you do get the odd few longer line of sights just to show off what this gun can do at range. And I think there are a few clips of Shipman in there as well, just to show what it's like at point blank range. If you like the video guys and you like the gameplay, please subscribe to the channel. With this strange situation that we're in with the lockdown, hopefully I'll have a bit more time to get some good videos out to you. If you want to see how I'd build a different weapon or a different submachine gun, like the MP7 or the P90, just let me know in the comments below and I'll get straight to it.